the host of Aaron's Hour, Aaron Phillips.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to another season edition of Aaron's Hour with Aaron Phillips with a little twist. We're going to now add the title Coast to Coast as part of the show. Of course, joining me back in Las Vegas, the man, the myth, the legend, the man that is actually making all of this possible for us, Mr. John Styles, lovingly called JPEG. What's up, bud?
Hey, bud.
How you doing?
Nice.
Very good.
So how's the weather back there?
Oh, my God. Ladies and gentlemen, I've seen more rain in the 4 weeks I've been here than I think I've saw in Vegas in 5 years. And I'm so glad you asked me that question because I knew that was going to be a topic yesterday on my Facebook page. I shared some pictures outside the window of my CrossFit box. By the way, hello, everybody at Dropbox here in Virginia Beach. And it was pouring. So I did some homework to share the following information with people. Okay. John, on average, how much rainfall does Vegas get per year?
On average, we get 4 to 5 inches max.
Okay. Average rainfall in the Virginia Beach area where I currently reside, I should turn my house into an ark. We average 45.22 inches of rain per year.
Jeez.
And for all you snowbirds, we also average 8.2 inches of snow per year. But as soon as the sun comes out, it melts it right away. Now, you ready for this? Year to date, I literally looked this up just before I went on the air. So far in 2024 here in the area, we've received 32.71 inches of rain just since January 1st.
Wow.
Okay. Normal average rainfall at this time, by this time of the year, is 23.7 inches. So 9 inches ahead of schedule.
So just trying to get you acclimated as quickly as possible, right?
Let me tell you, when was the last? Listen, I can't even tell you the last time I had to worry about my pool running over. Okay. So I was out there before the next round of storms after I came home from my workout. And thank God the previous owners left a little sump pump in the garage that they had for the pool. Yeah. So I was pumping water out of the pool to the front of the house so that the pool doesn't get, it was crazy. I got rain falling, I got a pool, and I'm pumping water out of my pool because of the rainfall.
Wow.
And I had to do that this morning because as of 1 p.m. my time locally, throughout the rest of the day, we're supposed to have some more thunderstorms and shit. I've heard more thunder, seen more lightning. I mean, sheets. Remember the old saying, John? Sheets of rain were coming down.
Oh yeah, I remember. Listen, I've been down in Florida in one of those, a couple of those tropical storms where it's raining so hard you can't see past the end of your car.
I'll tell you, the day I had to get my new phone, which is a whole nother story all unto itself. I stood in the store almost 30 minutes when the rain started coming down because and my car was parked right outside their door. I didn't want to walk out. I just didn't want to walk out. Yeah. It's crazy. So here's the other statistics. The highest rainfall on record here for a year goes back to 1889, 42.2 inches of rain per year for that year. And the record low rainfall for this area was only in 1986 at 12.5 inches of rain for the year.
Wow.
The average amount of rain, like I said, is about 45 inches per year here. And it's crazy.
Well, how far off the coast are you?
I'm about, mile-wise, probably I think it's about 15 miles due east of where I am right now. I'm far enough that yet, God forbid, if there's ever an issue of storms or hurricanes, we'll get rain and stuff, but I won't have any flooding issues from the storms.
Okay, so you don't have to worry about any of those nor'easters or any of that shit.
Probably just residual effects. Yeah. Like I said, the winds and heavy rains.
And the floods, of course,
Oh, my God. I tell you, I didn't really ever think that word come back into my vocabulary. I know we had it in Vegas for monsoon season, for 1 day a year, but
yeah.
42 inches of rain a year. I want to welcome everybody. By the way, do not adjust your clocks or your dials. It is 11:05 a.m. my time, 8:05, right? 8:05 your time there in the Pacific Standard Time. This, as of right now, will be the new live air time for the show. So we accommodate Thoughts Count Anywhere, which today is also going to be on early. They will actually be on today at 9 a.m. Pacific. Hopefully, if time allows, I hope to jump on with Matt and whoever else he has coming in the studio. So as always, even if you missed the show live, that's okay. I still love you. No problem. But you can always go back to Facebook right here on the show page, or WWDBTV Las Vegas Facebook, YouTube, same channels. And of course, download the WWDBTV channel on Roku, where not only do you get the chance to see all of my shows, but also the plethora. There you go. The word of the day is back of all the shows here on the network. Some great shows. Some new shows have popped on in my absence. So I know John's got some great stuff happening at the studio. Check it all out. Also, too, if you want to call and say hello, say hi, welcome you to Virginia Beach, or thank God you left Las Vegas, whatever works. I don't really care. The phone number has not changed, 702-992-3207. All right, with that, you know what time it is.
And if I'm in the mood, I'll answer it.
Well, did you pay the bill?
Oh, yeah.
All right, there you
go.
I
don't know. After this morning, I was kind of wondering, because I just to let everybody know, just in case, we have had some in and outs on the internet. So if we disappear, we'll try to come back, but ain't my fault.
That's right. That's right. So then we can always
say, what time is it?
That's right. What time is it? It's time for Vegas on Rap 2.0.
With a nod to the past and an eye to the future, here is Aaron Phillips with Vegas Unwrapped 2.0.
Oh, it's so good to hear that theme song.
Hey, listen. So I gotta tell you this.
Yes.
The picture there in the beginning of that, where Ricky's in the red jacket in the back, the end of the line there, and he's trying to look like. Every time I see it, I crack up because he's kind of looking down, looking up with his eyes, like he's trying to look like a badass gangster. So next time you see that, just take a look. You'll see what I mean. So
well, you know his nickname became OG, right?
Yeah,
that was his nickname. So listen, God love him. I miss him dearly. It was good to see you.
By the way, God, right?
What's that?
That stood for oh God.
Yeah, exactly. You know, at the Bon Voyage soiree,
CB, right?
What's that?
His nickname should have been CB.
Why?
Country Bumpkin.
Oh, Country Bumpkin. I just told that story to somebody yesterday too. That is so funny. Yeah, Country Bumpkin.
Hey, we love you, Ricky.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's good to see, at the our little Bon Voyage party that we had before we hightailed it out of Vegas. It was great to see Kimberly. She came after you left, unfortunately. Kimberly, Ricky's wife.
No, I saw her.
You didn't see her? She got. Oh, okay. I thought you left. So
her and the daughter both. Yeah.
Yeah, Stephanie was there. And by the way, everybody, I wish I could have invited everybody from Las Vegas that I wanted to say goodbye to. But those who did show, I want to thank everybody for coming and showing your love and support for my wife and I. And I'll be back. We'll be back. My dad still lives back there. I'm hoping to possibly be back in September for an event with Scott Hosey, his Wrestle Connects convention, his memorabilia show. Hopefully I'll be back for that. So we'll be back and forth. And when I do come back, well, the good news is I'll pop into the studio. We'll plan it. I'll do a show live from the studio. Kiwanis, on a side note, John, we were talking about this yesterday. The next district convention next year will be in Vegas. And then I think it was Maritza who put in the chat room that the Kiwanis International Convention will be back in Las Vegas. I think she said in 2028. And my very first international convention with my wife was in Las Vegas a couple of years. Rick, my big dog. There he is. There's my guy.
Hey, Rick, is that really you or is that the hacker?
That's oh God, please no hacking.
No. Hey, Rick got hacked.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he got hacked.
I didn't know that. Well, Rick, let me know how the knee is feeling and how Don is feeling and getting ready for her little procedure as well. But anyway, so want to thank everybody for showing up. But it's a big change out here.
Okay, good. It's him. Yeah, it's him. He said it's him.
Okay, it is him. Very good. All right, Rick. Love you, buddy.
Wouldn't the hacker say that too?
That's right. Can't they repeat everything? Anyway, let me know how the knee's doing, bud. All right, with that, let's get to it. So, of course, listen, the show is going to take on a little different approach to things because of, obviously, with me here in Virginia Beach, I'm going to start share, which is why it's going to be called Coast to Coast. I'm still going to talk about, I got to get used to this now. I'm still going to talk about Las Vegas. Go ahead, John.
Well, we might have some problems. We may get sued for using that name.
Which one?
The Coast to Coast.
By whom?
Depends on how we say it. Because wasn't there a show out here, that guy out of Pahrump, Art Bell?
Oh, I don't think he's on.
Didn't he have a show called Coast to Coast with Art Bell?
Yeah, but I don't think he's on anymore.
No, I know. But so instead of saying Coast to Coast with Aaron Phillips, we'll say Aaron Phillips, Coast to Coast.
Bottom line is, I'm going to talk about
Aaron's Hour Coast to Coast. Yeah.
I'm going to talk about news from Las Vegas all the way, inclusive of, my finger's disappearing because of the background.
Yeah.
All the way over here, all the way over there. There you go. I'll have to do it this way to Virginia Beach. Whew. Just when I was getting the left and right down, my hands disappear now off to the sides. Anyway, all right, let's get to it here if we will. Hey, the Mirage, right? The Mirage is closing next week, right, John?
Yeah. Well, okay, yes, the Mirage is closing as the Mirage.
Correct.
I think there was a couple of articles out there a few weeks back that made it sound like they were going to tear it down. But actually, they're doing a refurb there to turn it into the other one.
The Hard Rock.
The Hard Rock, that's it.
That's right. So the casino, as the Mirage, is due to close on whatever day the 17th is, which I think is Wednesday, if I'm correct. And here's the thing: have you been reading about this? Rick, I'll tell you what: if you run it backwards and I run it forwards, you'll still beat me. It doesn't matter. By the way, I did 3 workouts this week: Monday, Wednesday, Friday. My old routine at CrossFit. I'm dying right now. I've been propped up in this chair for the last 3 hours because I didn't want to get off once I got up here. So you probably know they have to, by Nevada law, progressive jackpots are an obligation to players and must be paid out before a casino closes. So they have $1.6 million that they have to give away.
I love that.
Right? So, yeah. I was reading some stories over the last couple of weeks just about how crazy people have been on the casino floor. They're sitting on seats that you can't sit on because people need to play these slots, the whole thing. There were fights and all sorts of stuff. Well, here's how it goes for the slot machine jackpot giveaways, which are totaling 1.2 million of the 1.6. The Mirage has given away, or was supposed to, $200,000 in guaranteed winnings each day last week: Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yesterday and today, that's jumping up to $250,000. And on July 16th.
All right, I'll be right back.
Yeah, keep it rolling. Just lock the door behind you. And on July 16th, $100,000 will be handed out. Separate giveaways will be held for the additional $400,000 in table game jackpots.
Wow.
I mean, imagine that. You have to give away $1.6 million before you can close up shop as a casino.
But you know what? That's chump change.
In the grand scheme of things,
yeah,
absolutely. No question.
I mean, think about it. Think about how much that has increased their business over the last month or so since they made that announcement.
Absolutely.
So they're going to be giving a whole shitload of money away, but they're going to be raking it in before they close. So it's like, I think that's pretty smart.
Well, it is. It's great marketing, but remember, the 1.6 is on the progressive slots that they're required to give out. So any money that people are spending coming in, there's no obligation to give that away. They can keep
exactly
that.
Right.
So they're going to still, they're still going to make some moolah on the way out. That's for darn sure. All right. I shared this. One of the things when I lived back there, we used to travel to California. I always laughed at the exit, and you know this, John. Zizix or Zizix, as the way it's actually pronounced.
I love that.
ZZYZX. I shared it on my Facebook wall yesterday. I always used to joke with my wife when we used to drive to Cali that I just thought it was some drunk cowboy in a Western saloon who just, where are you from? Oh, this is somewhere. And just kind of slurred and the name stuck. But can't even see the story. Holy cow. But the story is very simply this. It was actually named, and it's pronounced Zizix. Let's get that squared away.
Okay, Zizix. Okay.
ZYE-ZIX. So it's pronounced Zizix. So it comes from a medicine man who built a health resort down there. A medicine man. Now, we're not talking like a medicine man like you would see in the Indian tribes with headdresses and stuff. We're talking about the guy who would drive up in a wagon and try to sell elixirs and stuff.
Yeah.
At least that's the vision I have. So
Dr. Oz.
yeah, like Dr. Oz. And it was started by a gentleman. I'm going to quickly try to find his name here so I don't forget. Where is it? Springer is his last name. Where did it go? Who became known as the name? What does it mean? Oh my God, I had it. Oh, Curtis Springer. That's his name. Filed mining claims for 12,800 acres that would then be developed into the Zysix Mineral Springs and Health Resort.
Wow.
So here this guy would go in there. He'd have people pay like $50 to listen to his speeches and everything else. And he would talk about the virtues of the mineral springs and everything else. And basically the bottom line is this: the land was not his to claim. And so in the heyday, the resort used to be able to accommodate 140 guests to listen to the lectures. And he faced a lot of legal issues because the land was not his, of course. In 1974, after 3 decades on the land, the 77-year-old Springer got the boot from the feds, leaving the resort's rundown buildings behind, according to the Associated Press back in 1974. Well, since then, the BLM and 7 Southern California colleges back in 1976 formed the California Desert Studies Consortium that transformed the old resort's dated buildings into Desert Studies Center, which researches the archaeological, biological, and geological history of the Mojave Desert. Mr.
Wow.
Springs, after a while, he did move to Las Vegas, where he passed away in 1984, I believe it was. But that is how Zysix was named. And the reason he used that name, think about the dictionary, he wanted to have the last word.
So wasn't his son the guy that did that TV program?
Jerry Springer? Could be. You never know how these people are connected with that sort of stuff, right?
Oh, yeah. Did you see this?
You know what? I thank you, Rick, for sharing that. I saw the byline come through on my phone. I didn't read the whole article. Did you happen to get a chance to read it?
Well, I didn't get to read the whole article, just parts of it. But the deal was because of the actions of the police investigating it initially. That's why they had the mistrial.
Wow.
So it was because of they broke some of their own laws. So
similar to that golfer, Scott Scheffler, a couple of weeks ago at the Masters in Georgia. Yeah. He got arrested, but then they found it was the misunderstanding with the police. But yeah, Rick, if you get a chance, man, call in and share some of the details on that. I did see it. I did not read it, though, and thank you for sharing that. With that, though, let's step aside for our first break. We have a message from a new sponsor. We're going to share that, and some other goodies will fill it out. You are watching Aaron's Hour with Aaron Phillips, coast to coast from Virginia Beach live. We'll be right back.
Are you feeling overwhelmed? Are you stressed? Remember to take a moment for your mental health. At the Mental Health Moment, we believe in the power of self-care and community support. Our mission is to encourage and empower individuals across generations to prioritize their mental well-being. Through community, awareness, resources, and education, or CARE, we're here to support you every step of the way. Join us at the Mental Health Movement. Visit our website, thementalhealthmoment.org, or follow us on our social media platforms, because your mental health matters. Remember, take a moment for your mental health.
So I still say we ought to play the other one.
Go ahead, go for it. Play whatever you want.
I don't have it here because I didn't think we'd ever use it. But
which one are you talking about?
The one that we did. Woo!
Oh, that's right. You know what? Maybe when she comes in, when I'll get her to line up as a guest on Kiwanis Connects, maybe we'll have some fun with it then. So. All right. Well, welcome back. I thought
it was pretty good.
Oh, it was funny. She loved it. She absolutely. Melissa Atwell, thank you for coming on board as well. Interesting thing here. I don't know when Rick commented. Did his comment come through the Facebook chat?
Hang on. I'll tell you in a second here.
Because I'm not getting any messages on my phone through the chat, so that's why I'm just curious. But then again, I'm not seeing the chat screen. Or what if I do this? I bet you if I do this, I will. Oh, there we are. Okay. I got it.
You got it? Okay.
I got to join the chat. Why do I have to do that through YouTube? I don't know. All right. I can comment. I just can't. So I'm getting the comments that you're posting, but on my phone in the chat room, I'm not seeing any of the Facebook comments come up. So regardless,
Not my problem.
I know that's not your problem. I know. Now I'm actually left alone to have to do my own problems here.
Yeah.
All right. Before I start getting into, by the way, before I start getting into some other stuff, I do have one other piece of news. Then we're going to talk about Virginia Beach. I'm going to start sharing people. But I've gotten a lot of questions about how my move went. Okay. So let me put this in perspective. The movers, by the way, I want to thank Marcus. He was the driver with great crew here in Virginia Beach and in Vegas, loading and offloading here. Every item that goes out the door in a truck, they have to put those little tags on there because everything gets numbered. Okay. When we gave the sales rep our estimate of number of boxes, I think my wife and I said, probably about 150 boxes, because we sold all of our furniture for the most part. We started fresh here. You ready for this? Over 300 items got on the box. Those little 300 items. So unfortunately, the few pictures I took that I sent, ironically, to Rick, Rick is hopefully still in the chat room to show what my house looked like as we were packing. I don't have those anymore, partially because I had to get a new phone and I pretty much lost everything. But I do have some pictures that I sent to John of not only our trip across, but also when we got to the house here, of some of the boxes, which the boxes and stuff you'll see pertains to items that are here in my home office and studio that I'm still trying to find spots for. So I don't know if you can pull those up whenever you can. We'll go through those. So I showed this yesterday. So I'm a driver. I hate being a passenger. We drove 4 days to get across country, and my wife was telling friends that I probably wouldn't even allow her to drive. Well, guess what? I took this picture while she was driving. I think it was the third day, proving that she did drive. Now, it was only out of the driveway, so I could take the picture, and then I took – no, that's not true. She drove us through Memphis, and I think some of the other road pictures I sent you, John, were some of the pictures and buildings of Memphis, Tennessee, as well as some sunrises that I captured as we were driving. But we'll get – there you go. So – this is Mother Nature. And this was I think at like 5:30 a.m. Leaving one of the areas. Beautiful potholes too, which by the way, I think you might be able to see kind of dead center there to the left of the off ramp. Those little black specks there, those are potholes, ladies and gentlemen. They're a lot more common out this way. So what else you have next? See what others you have there. So this is our current garage. Well, now this is all done. This is stuff we've already unpacked. That big long box is the new desk, which actually is a what do you call it? A bar height table, dinner table that I'm using as a desk. So that's some of the ravages there. We actually found some shelving on. There we are. The day we arrived. That was Friday the 14th. We took a picture that we arrived. Look at my fit, unshaven. I didn't shave for a couple of weeks. Nothing. But there we are. That's the front of the house. We arrived safely after 4 days of traveling. More of the insanity of unboxing. Bins got damaged, and we really didn't get a whole lot of damage per se. Thank goodness. We did lose a couple of things into the damages. But again, the boxes you're looking at, folks, are most of the bins of everything that I packed that are now part of my studio office here. And I promised my wife that I wouldn't put a ton of holes in the walls to hang my stuff, but I'm trying my best, and it's been very difficult to find homes of things. And yes, most of those are belts that are part of my collection here. More stuff. That's all you can say after a while, John. It's just more stuff.
More stuff,
right?
But you know what we did when we moved, we only moved like 3 miles,
right?
But we color coded. We put dots on every one of the boxes and things, and then I put the same corresponding color on the doorways in the different rooms they went into.
Yep.
That saved us $3,622.08.
So this little book that you guys see in my hand was my inventory book of the 50 some odd boxes I packed just for my office, so I knew what was in there. Surprisingly, my wife, when we moved out to Vegas from Jersey, she labeled everything. She had this master spreadsheet, John, of everything, numbers, what's in it. This time, she was just packing and labeling the outside of the boxes, hoping that we would remember what was in there.
Yeah.
And then you put stuff in certain rooms that you realize, why did this go in here? And you move it again. So even though I didn't work out in CrossFit for almost 2.5 months before this week, schlepping boxes in and around the house, thank God no steps, except for a little room up over the garage. That is the beauty of a ranch. Please.
So what'd you do with all the trash?
Oh, so here's the funny. So yeah, we're going to talk about Mount Trashmore in a second. But fortunately, a friend of my daughter's is moving. Like her friend lives a mile or so from where I live, and they're moving. They needed boxes. Oh, thank God. Boxes and bubble wrap. And what we did not give her, which was the piles of stuff you saw, the local garbage department, they don't come and pick up bulk like that anymore. So there is a recycling center not too far from where we live that Eileen just loaded up her car in the back, took a couple of trips, got rid of it. And yeah, thank goodness that was that. We just have to find room for the hundreds of plastic bins we purchased. So, oh, the police and prosecutors withheld evidence. Wow.
From the court and the defense.
Wow. Withheld. That's a very big word. Do we smell a countersuit here, perhaps? Anyway, thanks, Rick. Appreciate that, man. Withholding evidence, man. That's no joke. All right. So let's go back to our story. The really quick. Listen, what's a staple of July 4th holidays is the Nathan's hot dog eating contest on Coney Island in New York.
Oh,
right?
yeah. That broad won it, didn't she?
What's that?
Some woman ate, I don't know how many, but a whole shitload.
Well, rarely people can get to 50 dogs. If you can eat 50 or more, you're like the best of all time. Most end up in the 40s. But
the reigning champion wasn't there this year, was he?
Joey Chestnuts, who's won it like 8 years in a row, was actually banned this year from participating because, dare I say, that he's won too much. And they do have, but here's the thing. There was a contestant, Nick Wehry, Wehry. He was a fourth place finisher. He was accused of stealing plates. Hey, Tracy. How are you, love? How you and Matt doing? Thank you for checking in, my friend. Greatly appreciate it. By the way, punch in there any dates and shows you have coming up so everybody can see what you got going on. So the way they count the dogs is paper plates. They put 5 hot dogs on a paper plate. And when you eat the dogs, you keep the plate, and that's how they count.
Got it.
The dogs that you did not eat on a final plate, they subtract off the total of what was left over.
Right.
So there's a video screenshot of this guy, Nick, talking with the competitor next to him, and he had a paper plate in his hand. Okay. And it is believed, and a couple of people allegedly saw him take this plate from a contestant next to him, picked it up, talking about it, and then ended up putting it down in front of him. Now, the difference in those 5 hot dogs made no difference in the guy's standings. He would have finished fourth regardless. Hey, Matt. Oh, send you some rain. I wish I could. I talked about some of the stats of the rain at the top, but I've seen almost 30. I've seen a little over 30 inches of rain this area this year alone. Anyway, so they were investigating it. You know, did you know there's a league, the MLE?
The MLE?
MLE for the hot dog eating. It's called the Major League Eating. So their stance, what's that?
I was laughing.
Oh, their stance on that is the decision of the judges is final.
Wow.
Okay? So, but it doesn't because anyway, so is there anything sacred anymore? Nothing sacred when the July 4th hot dog eating contest is a scandal.
You got to cheat at a hot dog eating contest.
First of all, the way they eat it, if you've never seen one of these folks, they take the hot dog in the bun and they don't eat it like John or me or any normal person. They dip it in water.
I
They
saw
soften
that.
it. And because it supposedly goes down better,
Right.
but no way. There's something about soggy bread I just can't do. All right, let me do some more statistics. Now we're going to go back to the educational portion of Virginia Beach a little bit. I shared all the rain and weather stuff. And by the way, the average temperature in this area, by the way, I have some fun facts. The average temperature for this area is only 60 degrees per year, average.
Okay, but see, that's misleading.
Why?
Because you could have a low of -12
Well, that's
and
why
a
they call
high
it
of-
an average.
and a high of 106. Now, if they said the median temperature, that's a little more, get you a better idea, I think. Right?
Well, listen, I can only read what's printed. You know what I'm saying?
I know. Yeah.
So, all right. So let's talk about visitors. Okay. So Vegas, we know, gets, I don't know, I think we're back up to 40 million visitors a year. Right?
Something like that. Yes.
And I read an article that just for July 4th weekend, because it was a 4-day weekend, Vegas was expecting some 335,000 visitors to invade July 4th. So here in Virginia Beach, this is crazy. Okay. Think about this. The Virginia Beach Convention and Visitors Bureau, ladies and gentlemen, announced this was for 2020. This was in 2023. For 2022, they made the announcement in 2023. They welcomed 13.6 million people to the area. Okay. We have a caller on the line?
Yeah, let's see if he can hear us or we can hear him.
All right. Hey, caller, who we got?
Is that the Ricky?
I do not hear him, John.
I don't either. Yep. Not getting him.
Oh, I just heard him faintly in the background, John. Mr. Upchurch. A lot of static on the line.
Yeah, maybe because of that internet shit this morning. But
Rick, try again.
hey,
So
we're not able to get you through. We have our internet.
So 13.6 million people visited Virginia Beach in 2022. Now, I also wondered how many people were expected to come to Virginia Beach over July 4th. As I just said, I saw the article that Vegas was expecting about 335,000 people this past July 4th. Here at Virginia Beach alone, which is considered a tourist destination, it's got it is considered one of the longest tourist beachfronts in the world because of how long it stretches. They were expecting a total of about 40,000 people to invade Virginia Beach proper, Virginia Beach coastal. Think about that. 10% of what Vegas was expected to get for all of July 4th weekend is what people came here and converged on Virginia Beach. 40,000 people. I kind of interesting. And then how about the financial?
We get that many on a Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly. So
listen, our roving reporter, Mr. Upchurch,
yes.
Said that you might want to mention the jets that flew over Virginia Beach yesterday that had just returned from Europe.
Well, you just mentioned it. I don't have to. But I have to admit, with all the rain yesterday, I wasn't out. Nobody was outside. I can't imagine what Virginia Beach must have looked like. But if they flew over, then God bless them and thank you for cutting. You know what? You ought to send Rick. Well, it's too late now, but we ought to get Rick a link every once in a while so we can do this with us.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, love to have it.
We'll make him a special guest host every once in a while.
Well, we know he's probably at home because he ain't running around all over town. So.
No. Well, he's hobbling right now. It sounded like earlier.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's it. So visitors spent $2.4 billion in Virginia Beach. Ready?
What?
Resulting in a total economic.
Just for the 4th of July?
No, this was for all the visitors that came in.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Almost 14 million. He's all in. All right, good, Rick. We'll set it up for next week. We'll get you. Oh, hey, Lisa Price, Donna. Good to see you all out there. Now I'm starting to get some messages flowing in. I love it. Love it. Love it. Good stuff. Thank you, Lisa. Let me know when that show goes up, Lisa. And Don, I see you're in there as well. Thank you so much. So those visitors who spent that amount of money, the total economic impact was $3.7 billion to the state. The tourism activity sustained more than 32,000 jobs, or check this out, 19% of all the jobs in Virginia Beach. Think about that for a moment.
Damn.
All right. Kind of alluded to this a few minutes ago, and that was something called Mount Trashmore.
Mount Trashmore, what is that?
Mount Trashmore Park. Now, it is exactly what you think when you hear Mount Trashmore. Staten Island has a lot of them. Any garbage organization has a lot of them.
Staten Island is one. So.
That's true too. Landfills. So Mount Trash, if you can pop the before and after picture up first.
Got it right here.
There you go. So the picture on the right literally is a landfill, folks. Okay.
Oh, that's the before picture?
That's the before picture. And on the left is an after picture. I don't know the exact date of that. So what they did was they converted this land, because it was filled, it was done, into Mount Trashmore Park, and it officially opened in 1974. So it is celebrating its 50th anniversary. And there you see the outskirts of what it looks like now. I live about a mile and 3/4 from here. There's no smell, by the way. Great overhead shot. The lake's on one side. They have all sorts of good stuff. So let me share with you what's in the park so that you know. Obviously, they can do festivals. I apologize. That picture is not as clear as I had hoped it would be. The park spans 165 acres with hills larger than 60 feet high, high and 800 feet long. Okay. Facilities include 3 large, 2 medium, and 6 small picnic shelters, playground areas, 4 volleyball areas, parking, vending machines, and of course, restrooms. Mount Trashmore Park also features multiple walking trails. The perimeter trail is about 1.95 miles. The lake trail, 1.45, and the mountain trail, 1.3 miles. If you combine those last two together in one trail, you're looking at 2 3/4 miles of trail. The park also features 2 lakes where fishing is permitted, which is ironic considering what's under the dirt. God bless them. And since its opening in the 70s, it ranks as the most popular park in Virginia Beach, with attendance of 1 million people per year visit the park. It's open 7 days a week from 7:30 a.m. until sunset, and they do a beautiful July 4th fireworks display out over the park. My wife and I were thinking about going. It opened at 4 o'clock, $20 to park, but it was for us here. Guys, you got to get used to the word heat index, okay? Which is different than what's the one in the wintertime? The cold index, freeze it, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So, let me tell you something. I know you guys hit a record high heat last week of 118 degrees on Tuesday or whatever it was.
120.
It was 120. What was the humidity? Do you remember?
Yeah, -6.
All
All of the moisture in Las Vegas had evaporated by noon.
And I got it all over here, apparently.
Well, so, I was going to say about that park, it's located in an area that you can go outside during the summer and the nice weather.
Oh, absolutely. And across the street from there, there's a parking lot. They had a carnival there like a week after we moved here. So we did go over there. Lisa liked your comment about the humidity. So we actually went over there and they had a nice little carnival. We were in and out of there in like 45 minutes because of the fact that it was more for the kids. But so here's the weather here. So right now it's 83 degrees and cloudy. High expected about 85, but it feels like 93. 93.
We almost got down to 93 last night.
Yeah, you needed your woolies at that point, right? But yeah,
it gets down below 106, and I got my long sleeve shirts on.
I don't know if it'll show up here, but I keep watching. 81% humidity, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. So if you're watching this now from anywhere in the world and you don't believe in the dry heat theory, shame on you. Because I realized after a short time that I'm here already, give me 120 degrees and 10% humidity any day of the week, then 85 degrees and 90% humidity, because it is hard to breathe. I can tell you that much. All right. Here's some other interesting facts about Virginia Beach, and then we'll take our final quick break. Virginia Beach is actually closer to many of its own cities. It's closer to cities in North Carolina than it is to many other Virginia cities. Think about that, because we are close to North Carolina, the Outer Banks, that whole area. The Virginia Beach Boardwalk. And you might have that in one of the pictures I sent in that other story, John, about the 10 best things to do in Virginia Beach. If you see it where there's people walking along the waterway. When we say the word boardwalk, ladies and gentlemen, not that one.
Okay.
Let me see it.
The only other one. So
okay, no worries.
Yeah.
Folks, it's a little misnomer. Actually, John, if you can go to the one that is part of the Virginia Beach Boardwalk slide, it shows the front of a resort hotel with a bike route. There you go. Perfect. Okay. So where that bike is parked, ladies and gentlemen, you don't see any wood slats like a traditional boardwalk. Well, they do call this the boardwalk because obviously with all the weather, if it was still wood, it would all get beaten up pretty good. So they did cement it. This is what they call the boardwalk. This is all the hotels and resorts literally along the boardwalk. Now, on the left side of this picture, about halfway up, you see this long thing that looks like a pier jutting out from the boardwalk. Do you see that, John?
Yep, right there.
Right there. Well, I can't see where you're pointing to. Nobody can see my mouse moving either. I'm trying to point. find it out. But anyway.
It's right there, man. It's right there.
Exactly. Folks, if you remember a story back in March about a driver who drove off a fishing pier for no reason, drove through the barricades, the lock gates. There was a report, maybe there was a kid with him and not with it, whatever. That's the pier that this guy drove off of, the fishing pier. Thank God it's open and everything. We were just there last week. But anyway, I digress because of the boardwalk story. So the original boardwalk was actually built in 1888, but now it's a paved walking trail and bike trail. Virginia Beach is, you can take that down. Virginia Beach is home to 3.5, yes, 3.5 military bases. They are NAS Oceana, NAS Oceana, NAB Little Creek, FTC Dam Neck, and the U.S. Army's Fort Story. The half base belongs to NAB Little Creek, which is largely in Virginia Beach, but has its formal address in Norfolk. Think about that one, okay? Virginia Beach is the largest city in Virginia with a population of 425,000 people. That was the population when I first moved to Vegas 27 years ago. Think about that, right? The city is also large geographically.
People in Pahrump now.
That's right. It's almost 500 square miles in size, the size of just Virginia Beach alone. The King Neptune statue, which you see on the, no, not that one. If you have the picture of the background that I sent you, where somebody put leaving Las Vegas and then showed the Hamptons, it's actually from the picture.
No,
where
I don't have that one.
All
sorry.
right, that's okay. The King Neptune statue, that is one of the nice.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I did see that.
It was where you grabbed the "Welcome to Virginia Beach" on the background here. It was part of that picture.
Right. Yeah.
It stands at the intersection of Virginia Beach Boardwalk and 31st Street and was cast in bronze in China. It stands 34 feet high and weighs 12.5 tons. It's a big statue. Guinness Book of Records lists Virginia Beach as having the longest pleasure beach on the planet. It's 35 miles long.
What kind of beach?
Pleasure beach.
Oh, okay.
You can insert your own definition wherever you want there.
Massage parlors and
whatever pleasure you want. Those do exist here in Virginia Beach too, by the way.
Oh, I'm sure.
You
got all those spooks there.
That's the 35 miles of sandy shores.
From Langley.
Yeah, exactly.
I just want to clarify that.
Yeah, please clarify that. Yes. I don't want Rick sending you bad emails and stuff. The 35 miles of sandy shores are made up of 3 beaches, which include the Chesapeake Bay Beach, which is where my daughter lives. She's a block and a half off of that beach. Sandbridge Beach, and of course, Virginia Beach. It's all considered one coastal, 35 miles long. Guinness Book of Records recognizes it as the largest beachfront resort area. Let me see if my fingers will work. I can get one more thing. Oh, this is a nice segue. Virginia Beach is also home to a lot of celebrities, and I'm going to get there. How much time do we have left, John? About 10 minutes?
Yeah, we got just about 10. Yeah.
Okay.
We have to hit 11.
Let's take a quick break, run Melissa's commercial only, and then we'll come right back.
Right now?
Right now. Run it now. We'll be right back.
All
coast to coast. More
All
Virginia Beach stuff. Can you? If not, we'll keep going.
Yeah, hang on. No, just stall for a minute.
All right. So 15 celebrities that have roots here in Virginia Beach. Now, and there is a formula
No, I'm sorry, Aaron. We got to go to commercial. We're out there. Yeah.
All right. Thank God. Go.
Are you feeling overwhelmed? Are you stressed? Remember to take a moment for your mental health. At the Mental Health Moment, we believe in the power of self-care and community support. Our mission is to encourage and empower individuals across generations to prioritize their mental well-being. Through community, awareness, resources, and education, or CARE, we're here to support you every step of the way. Join us at the Mental Health Movement. Visit our website, thementalhealthmoment.org, or follow us on our social media platforms, because your mental health matters. Remember, take a moment for your mental health.
Definitely check them out. It is great information. And thank you again, Melissa. So there was a story done by an organization, ironically, called Bet WWDBTV.com to come up with this list of 15 most famous celebrities. And this is as of this year. So very quickly, what they did was they used a weighted system that included Keywords Explorer, Google Trends to determine the most searched Virginia celebrities over the past, during a 12-month period from November 2022 to November of 2023. A Virginia celebrity was defined as a person who resided in Virginia in their formative childhood or teenage years for over 5 years. Celebrities are defined as living actors, actresses, singers, songwriters, athletes, TV personalities, comedians, dancers, and social media influencers. So I'm going to go upwards. Number 15, Danny McBride. Do you guys know who Danny McBride is?
Oh, yeah.
Shirley MacLaine.
Oh, wow.
And all of her lives came from Virginia Beach. Christopher Maloney. Philadelphia 76er great Allen Iverson. Comedian Patton Oswalt. I believe Pharrell Williams, I believe, is a rapper. Flash. Yeah. Grant Gustin from here, Norfolk to be specific. Patrick Wilson. David Arquette. Lauren Graham from the Gilmore Girls fame. Rhea Seehorn. Of course, everybody knows the Lowe family. Rob Lowe was from this area. Mark Hamill from Annandale. Chris Brown to Tappahannock. And number one on the list, Sandra Bullock.
Wow.
So, and there's more on there. I know they're great football players I saw in previous lists, but listen, Virginia Beach may be known for their sand, but they're also known for providing some great people into the world of entertainment. All right.
Cool.
I think we may have just enough time to do this. So I want to just talk about the 10 best things to do in Virginia if you're going to plan to come here. Number one was the Virginia Beach Boardwalk, which we already saw. Number two, let's go to the Cape Henry Lighthouse, the lighthouse picture, John.
Da-da-da.
Da-da-da-da. There you go. This was one of the first lighthouses in Virginia, and it marks the southern entrance to the Chesapeake Bay. The lighthouse is situated near the first landing site where English settlers first set foot on American soil before making their way inland to settle in Jamestown. So let's see. It was damaged by lightning in the 1870s, and a newer, taller lighthouse, 350 feet to the northeast, was built in 1881. They are located within the boundaries of Joint Expeditionary Base East, which is a naval base. Cape Henry Memorial National Park is adjacent to the lighthouses. So the one in the forefront looks like the brick one, looks like, I believe, is the original one. And then the one behind it,
I think you're right,
was the newer one. All right, number three, Vibe Creative District. That's the spray paint picture, John. Probably not unlike First Friday in the Arts District there in Vegas. It's Virginia Beach's own cultural arts enclave, vibrant and electric. That's where they get the name. The oceanfront neighborhood functions as a hub for artists and creatives to share their passions while inspiring a sense of discovery in locals and visitors to Virginia Beach alike. There's always something going on in the Vibe Creative District with weekly and monthly events, a regular occurrence. This is pretty cool. Again, it's just like the Arts District down in Vegas.
Cool.
Number four, First Landing State Park. That's the one where you see the walking pier and the barge in the, no, not that one. There's a barge in the background. It's got the wooden path, bridge. There you go. First Landing State Park.
That looks like a boardwalk, man.
That's your traditional boardwalk. Absolutely. So those, I want to say they're barges, but boy, they don't look like barge ships in the background. But located at Cape Henry, the First Landing State Park is a 2,900-acre park with much to offer. It is the biggest claim to fame as a place where the first English colonists arrived in America in 1607, again, before heading to Jamestown. So this in connection with the lighthouse we talked about earlier. The park now features miles of both beach and hiking trails through a protected salt marsh habitat around freshwater ponds, beaches, dunes, forests, a tidal marsh, and a cypress swamp. It is the most visited state park on the water in Virginia and also home to one of the most endangered habitat types in the world, the maritime forest community. Number five, the Military Aviation Museum. That's there. I didn't have to pick that one out, did I? That was obvious. The Military Aviation Museum commands its own small private grass airfield located at the Virginia Beach Airport. The museum is home to one of the world's largest collections of warbirds still in flying condition. The complex includes 2 display hangars as well as a replica World War I era wooden hangar, and a maintenance hangar. Aircraft on display include samples from Germany, France, Russia, Italy, the United Kingdom, and of course the United States. The Warbirds on display features aircrafts from both World War I and World War II, while the complete collection ranges from 1910 to the early 1950s. Some noteworthy Warbirds include the Douglas AD-4 Skyraider, the Curtiss P-40E Kitty Hawk, the Stinson L-5 Sentinel, and the Mikhail Gurevich MiG-3, located at 1341 Princess Anne Road. All right. So I'm going to stop there. I'm going to save the rest of them for next week's show. Because we're going to cut off a few minutes early. As I mentioned earlier, Thoughts Count Anywhere is coming on an hour earlier than normal at the top of the hour, 12 o'clock East Coast time, 9 a.m. Pacific. Hopefully during the transition, I hopefully will be able. Ed, Todd, Chiefy's in the house. I have maybe on the quick transition if I have something. I have a bagel. At least it's round with a hole in it. But Chiefy, thank you for punching in there. So during the transition, if time allows, if I can jump back on for Thoughts Count Anywhere, I will do that today and spend a little time with the guys, because after all, last week was Money in the Bank, a huge pay-per-view for wrestling fans. But John, can you believe it? Aaron Zauer with Aaron Phillips, Coast to Coast, is back on the air after a 6-week hiatus. Let me tell you, I didn't realize how much I miss being on the air. When you normally do it and you get it, you're in the habit. You wake up that first Saturday saying, wait, I'm missing something. It's like leaving your wallet at home. Something's not right with this day. And I'm glad to be back on the air. Kiwanis Connects, we were back on yesterday.
So is this your new time now?
For the foreseeable future, yes, this is the new time. 11 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. East Coast, 8 a.m. Pacific. Again, folks, if you missed the show live, you can still go to the Facebook page, Aaron's Hour Show. You can go to WWDBTV Las Vegas on Facebook. Go to YouTube. Both pages the same. Aaron's Hour Show, WWDBTV. Go to Roku. The shows are there. I just love doing my shows live. Hopefully, I will begin bringing guests on as the weeks progress so that we can start cultivating a relationship between Vegas and...
Hi, Matt.
Matt, is that Matt? Matt's in the house?
Matt's in the house.
Matt Mullen, the keeper of the neighborhood. He can step in behind you so I can say hello. Where is he? Matt, get over there next to John for a moment there.
Don't get too close to
him. Listen, this guy works hours. There he is. I want to know, Matt, did you even get any sleep? Or are you there this early coming right from work?
What sleep?
Right, exactly. That's what I figured. Well, good to see. Who do you have in the studio there today? Is Ryan with you?
Ryan and Bruce.
Excellent. So I'll jump in a little bit at the top of the show while we transition and be part of the fun.
Until his wife gets back.
Yeah, she's getting her nails done, so I have some free time right now where she can't yell at me. So,
gotcha.
All right, Thoughts Count Anywhere coming at the top of the hour. Matt's got a full house there, talking about everything from Money in the Bank last week to heat wave results, report all kinds of good stuff. Meantime, I'm Aaron Phillips coming to you from Virginia Beach. It's different doing it here in my home studio than it is there, but hey, we're still on the air entertaining everybody. I want to thank John for joining me today. I want to thank everybody for joining me, supplying their comments. Next week, hopefully I can start with some guests. If not, it'll just be John and I having some more fun about life. That's all there is to it. With that, everybody, thank you for watching. Be kind to everybody. Why? We are all we have. We'll see you next week right here on Aaron's Hour, Coast to Coast. Thank you for watching.